All right, we're going to get started with initial config. So by this point, you should have your iPad, iPhone set up with HoopStats downloaded, and we're going to get it set up. So let's open up HoopStats. We're going to go to the Settings tab, and this should be in your guide. You're going to need username and password. This is going to be different game day, but for our test example, it's HoopStats with the password H00PST @TS plus 22. You're not really going to get much in the way of other than hitting done, and you'll know if it's off, but make sure that that's set up properly. You won't be able to download anything otherwise, but if that's incorrectly, you'll be okay. Make sure stats are set to 30 seconds and kind of leave everything else the same. Like I said, on game day, different password managers will be talking to you about that, but for our test example, this is what it is. Next step is going to be going to the games, and we're going to go current season, and it says start here with add games on the plus button in the top right. Hit that. And the best feature of this app is the fact that we are integrated with Exposure and we can download all the rosters. You don't have to go 15 players and enter in each one of them prior to a game. This is going to make things go much smoother, but you're going to need to download this pretty much for every game. So get ready to memorize this. You're going to be doing it quite a bit. Import from Exposure. Hit that. Let it load for just a second. And in this example, there's not a lot of data here. There's only 2 games you could select. In the future, there will be considerably more options here because we have a lot of events going on concurrently. You'll choose the event location, choose the proper court, and navigate to where your game is. You'll have a schedule in front of you, but you're going to need to be able to navigate this. It'll be slightly different on game day. But for this example, we're going to go team loaded versus the players. This is a championship game from last year. It's wonderful. We got it uploaded and imported. Can tell, and we're going to go score game now. Looks pretty good, but as a heads up, some stuff here is wrong. And when we get started for the test game, we need to make sure it's fixed first. And this is a good chance for us to learn how to change stuff when it comes down. The first thing we're going to look at is starters. Starters do not look correct. They just came in numerically. So the sub button down in the right corner is how we change these guys around. I have this list for you of the starters. So infinity circle, right there in the top of the tab, will let you bounce back and forth between the 2 teams. Let's start with the players, and we're just going to uncheck all these guys. The starters are going to be 2, 5, 10, 11, 21. You might be asking yourself, hey, where does this info come from? Well, the guy sitting right next to you has the official book at the scores table. He's going to tell it to you, and you're going to be able to look, but you've got to verify that from the book that all the numbers are correct, all the players are in, and that the starters are also correct. So for team loaded, we're going to go 1, 2, 5, 11, and 12. So it won't take you very long. Just from the official book, just double check, number 1 is Llewellyn, number 5 is Bakett, vice versa for the players. Make sure, number 1 is Moses Flowers. Take a look. If you've got to add anybody, this is the time to do it. It's before the game. Trying to do it during the game is going to be a nightmare. So the easy way to add somebody, let's just go team loaded VA. This shouldn't happen very often, but in the rare cases that it does, let's say a team added somebody late and they didn't tell Exposure, didn't tell us, we got to add them at game time. We're going to hit this little plus button. We're going to add Jeff Forbes. Easy, right? Number 25. 2525, done. Now I'm listed on the roster. This is the easy part, just adding a player. Now, it's a little bit tougher if for some reason somebody's jersey number is wrong. This could happen in a couple different ways. This usually happens if there's like a blood jersey or a jersey gets torn or a kid forgets one and doesn't get washed. Sometimes that does happen. So we're going to fix Jeff Forbes. He's number 52, not 25. Shoot. So what do? We can't fix it on this screen. We got to go to the team level to do it. So we'll hit done. It's before the game. We'll go to teams. We got team loaded VA. We'll select them. And this is kind of tricky here. You got to know, if you just select me, like try to hit my name right here, it's going to be only 5 players allowed on the court. Remove one. It's all messed up. You need to go edit, top right corner. And it gives you a selection to delete them. Don't delete anybody. Just select Jeff Forbes. We're going to change 25 to 52. 52. So just a reminder, anything that numbers have to be changed, you got to do it at the team level. Easy to do, though. Right there, I'm 52. Let's go back to the game. We're going to go games. Choose the game. Check out Jeff Forbes. Let's see. Oh, swip him over. 52. So it's a little more intricate, to know how to change numbers. That shouldn't happen to you too much. It just should be adding players, and that really shouldn't happen very often either. The other thing that you're going to see is that sometimes Adidas doesn't get it right on who's dark and who's light and home and away and that sort of stuff. Home and away doesn't matter too much to us. Side to us doesn't matter. But in our game example, Team Loaded VA is in white and New England players are in black. And you're going to want to get this right for your input. Now, some teams will be in funny colors. It doesn't need to be specific to their color. Just a light team and a dark team. So we're going to change them. In order to change them, we got to go back to the teams. This is where we change the players. We'll choose players first. Then we got home color in white. Let's just swap it around. Save. Away. Change the gradient all the way down here. Save. Now we're just swapping around. Let's do team loaded 2. Other way. Hitting the black. Save. Hitting the white. Pretty close to white. Oh, I didn't save it. Save. Pretty close. Doesn't have to be exact. But that's going to make it way easier to stat this game now that we got team loaded VA in white and the players in black. There's one other trick here, and I did this intentionally. The clock is wrong. Sometimes they do 20-minute half. Sometimes they do 16, which is regulation for high school. It gets switched around a little bit. This one came down as 20, and that will make things way tough if you're trying to get at least close on the clock, and you need to be to change this. So in order to change this, we got to do this again at the game level. We're going to go done. We're going to choose this little icon, the little I right next to the teams, and under settings, this is where we can change default settings. I wouldn't play with too much stuff in here. It should come down correctly, but in case you need to change those periods, and we'll try to preset most of this stuff for you, we'll change it to 16. Done. Game details. Score game now. Bang, there we go. We're at 16 minutes. Team loaded in white, plays in black. Now we're going to get ready to practice inputs, but I want to get it set up for the game. So this initial config is important. Remember, if you need to review this, please go back for it. Go back through it. You're going to be downloading a lot of rosters, and you're going to have to make initial changes right before the game. You'll have plenty of time, but make sure this is right going into the game so you get a head start and things aren't messed up that are going to screw up your stats later on. All right, review this if you need to. Otherwise, move on to the next step.